Yo, Rabbit is really broken. Like, the more I think about it, the more I see his skills and what he has done already in this series, the more I realize that it's going to be really hard to bring this man down, because every time he takes someone down, or if he finds a body, he just uses his power, and he has a new ally, and he continuously gets stronger because of it. I mean, he has more forces on his side, and he can also use their abilities. So, it's essentially like this. If he is, like, the last out of all of them, like, one of the last, like, there's only 2 people left, and he's one of the last 2, if he managed to get to all the other bodies, if, like, for instance, he gets to, you know, Sheep, he can res him as well and have his abilities, which would just be ridiculous. So, Rabbit is really broken. The more I look at him, the more I realize what he has done. He has such a high body count already for this series, but he also is someone that should have been taken down very early. Like, they should have focused the hell out of this man, because now that they haven't, it's kind of like what happens in a MOBA. In like a game, when you have this guy that is sitting there feeding in solo lane or carry lane by himself, and then as he continuously levels up and gets stronger, he has all this equipment and all that. When you finally notice he's so strong, you're like, oh, it's too late, and you just get eradicated and completely wiped out. Team wipe, game over. And that's essentially what is happening here. Rabbit is just so fed right now, has so many people on his side now, you can't really touch this man. Unlikely alliances are being forced to happen just because of how insane he is right now. So anyways, let's talk about the beginning of the episode. Monkey. So, did anyone else get that feeling that Monkey might have had a chance to survive when we saw her kind of still alive at the beginning of this episode? I thought, like, oh man, there might be a chance. She might not actually die. But there was a recap, basically to show from a different perspective that she died. And I'm like, really, Juuni Taisen? So I was like, that really upsets me, because, like, Best Girl just got slaughtered like that once again in this episode. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. Like, that legit sucks. So that was quite the troll. So Monkey is dead. And now that I think about it, Monkey being a part of Rabbit's, like, team now is also very scary, because we know for a fact Monkey has very strong hand-to-hand combat skills. Very strong. If Monkey didn't have that weakness to where she was a pacifist and didn't want to harm people, which is a noble thing. It's a very noble thing. But if she didn't have that, she could have probably easily put up a good fight and easily won against Rabbit and defeated everyone. She could have been one of the main people to win this. She could have been the winner if she didn't have that certain thing about her character. And so in this case, her no longer having that limiter is pretty scary. It's not just the fact that her body now doesn't have a limiter, which I like how that was addressed. I'm very pleased that that was addressed, because since they're necessarily corpses and, you know, they're no longer alive anymore, they don't need to really worry about the stress or the limiters from their brain, because our brain actually has limiters. We limit ourselves to how we move and stuff, and so in this case, with them being dead, their brain really not working anymore, or not needing to place limiters, it makes it to where they can just go all in with any body part and don't have to worry whatsoever. So Monkey now having no limiter on her body, but also no limiter on her mind, where she can just fight and no stopping whatsoever, makes her a deadly opponent. I mean, now looking at how she is, if she was to go up against someone like Ox or Tiger, I do believe that Ox might lose in a straight up 1v1. I do actually believe that Monkey would, like, win against Ox if, you know, the limiters were completely removed, which they are now. I do believe something like that can happen. Now, if Tiger and Ox work together against Monkey, that's another story. There's a potential possibility that, you know, she definitely would lose. So anyways, let's talk about what the episode mainly focused on, which was Snake and Dragon's backstory. So, I think by now, we all know what this means. We all know what this means. This means that, number one, we already know Snake is dead, so GG. Unless there's something we don't know about his ability, and he might still be alive. Who knows? Or, what this also meant is that Dragon is going to die probably next episode, because we see him at the end of the episode floating in the sky. So this man's ability, pretty broken. I mean, when I think about it, it's pretty insane. I think the only thing that could really touch him right now would be essentially chicken. Since we have to where Rabbit actually has chickens, zombie ravens, then that would mean that that's the only thing that could really affect this man. So, he's very dangerous, very OP in a way. He probably has one of the best chances of winning right now. But even then, though, because of that flashback we got this episode, I'm going to assume he dead. Like, he dead. Because I'm not going to care about a character. As I already said in my last episode review, after what's already happened now with flashbacks and stuff, every time a character gets a flashback, you should probably expect them to die. So, I expect the man to probably die next episode. So, anyways, let's talk about how Snake could possibly be alive. Now, I don't know if this is a potential possibility, but it could potentially happen. Snake could be alive. And the reason why I say this is because let's think about the old saying. You cut off the head of a snake, the body withers. What necessarily happened in, the beginning of this series, in the flashback in this episode. The head of the snake was cut off. But the body didn't wither. It goes completely against that old saying. The body didn't wither. It's still moving around, obviously, because of a necromantis, but still, the body didn't wither. It's actually very helpful, very useful. And so it makes me wonder if there's a message here. Since this writer is very, very well known for symbolic messages, I wonder either A, showcasing how ironic that saying is and the body still moving around being very useful, or he has an ability to where, like, he could shed skin. Maybe if his head gets cut off or whatever, maybe a new body can form. Like, he can regrow his head or regrow his body or something like that. Who knows? Because maybe shedding skin and stuff, maybe, like, shedding body. Who knows? Something like that could be a potential possibility. But I just wanted to point that out. That could happen, but I don't know. So, anyways, let's talk about the other thing. Tiger and Ox's relationship in this episode. So Tiger, really like her. She's best girl, which I guess she's the only real female character left now, so she's the only best girl. But Tiger, I loved her in this episode. Like, oh my. So she's fighting, and she gets the gas tank from Snake. The fire, like, flamethrower gas tank, and she starts drinking the gas. Like, she's so drunk, she's drinking the gas. Like, what? Like, she starts drinking and chugging gas. Like, she's, like, just drinking this big canister. Just drinking all of it. And I'm like, she drinking gasoline. Like, this woman drinking gasoline. And I find it so funny that entire aspect of the episode wasn't just there for comedy's sake. It actually was used for plot advancement. When she starts upchucking and all that, you see, like, foaming at the mouth coming out and all that. That was gas, obviously. And you had to where Ox lit it on fire, and then fire got all around the arm and her neck, burning off the arm. Which is obvious that's what he's wanting to do. I just find that very funny that something so funny, like a comedy segment, was actually used for plot advancement like that. I thought it was really cool, and it's funny how she is able to drink gasoline. I don't know if she's drinking it because she's drunk and doesn't understand, or if her body actually can handle gasoline. That's what I'm very curious about. I mean, I guess that's the joke here or something, or with her character, since she's like, knows drunken fist and all that, her being able to drink anything, I guess. Maybe. Does this mean necessarily if she can drink gas and not have her body affected at all, that the poison within her is not going to affect her at all? Like, she negates it completely? I mean, if she's able to drink gas, I'm assuming since that's already toxic to drink, drinking anything like that's bad for you. So, I'm going to assume that the poison's not really going to do much. That's what I think is happening. So, yeah, Ox, Tiger have made an alliance. Sheep is confirmed dead. Monkey is confirmed dead. Snake might be dead. Dragon in the air. And, oh yeah, Horse is also confirmed dead. And Rat, still being a rat's just sneaking around, which he might be the last one standing because of what he's been doing in this series. But that's about it, what's happened in this week's episode of Juuni Taisen. How do you feel about Rabbit? How do you feel about how broken he is? Please be honest in the comments below. So if you enjoy my content, obviously, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please leave a like. And if you don't like this video, leave a dislike. So I love you guys. You have a wonderful, wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Stay healthy. Chibi out.